is not just about spa days and about scented candles. As a doctor, I can tell you that the real self-care is the science of looking after your health way before disease actually shows up. It starts with your basics. What are you eating? Are you eating correctly? Because food is not just fuel. It actually can induce disease or it can lower systemic inflammation. How much are you moving? Do you know that exercise can prevent diseases like sarcopenia, like osteopenia, like osteoporosis? And are you sleeping enough? Are you sleeping restfully? Your poor sleep disrupts your hormones. It increases insulin. It can even lower your immunity, and it can also cause weight gain. And of course, there is stress. Chronic stress literally changes your biology. It can spike your cortisol levels, your blood sugar levels, can affect your gut, can affect your metabolism. So managing stress isn't a luxury, it's actually medicine. Let's talk about the most underrated self-care tools. Hand hygiene and oral care. Every time you wash your hands, what are you actually really doing? You're disrupting the transmission and the entry of bacteria, of viruses, and even of antibiotic-resistant pathogens. Take hand washing, a practice that takes 30 to 60 seconds, but clinically what it does is it reduces the risk of respiratory infections and also of digestive diseases almost by 30%. Do you know that most of us touch our face more than 15 or 20 times in an hour and we don't even realize it? And that's how these viruses, bacteria, and even fungal spores enter our body. Because hands are constantly transferring microbes into our mouth, into our ears, into our nose. Hence, washing isn't a minor habit really. It's a daily dose of infection prevention. Self-care doesn't always look glamorous. Sometimes it looks like simple soap, water, and science. Get morning sunlight, even if it's for 5 to 10 minutes, first thing in the morning. Sunlight exposure within the first hour of waking up actually resets your circadian clock, and it enhances your serotonin production, which is your feel-good hormone, and improves the quality of your sleep even at night. You could do it while walking your child to the bus. You can do it while sipping tea by the window. It also supports hormonal balance and gives you mental clarity, and it costs nothing. Second, deep breathing. Do it in the morning or do it at night. Just a couple of minutes of diaphragmatic breathing, that is breathing slow, deep, intentionally, can actually reduce your cortisol levels, can balance your nervous system, and can even regulate your blood pressure. It stimulates your vagus nerve, which is your parasympathetic nervous system, and puts you in a state of rest and digest. And that's not a waste of time. You're lowering your inflammation and you're also improving your focus. What is the proactive self-care measures that we can take? We can look into blood work, good quality sleep, blood sugar regulation, and regular rituals like breathing techniques, like yoga, like pranayam. Important to know, you can't push through burnout. It's very important to self-regulate. You can't just rest it out. The earlier you listen to your biology, the better it is for your long-term resilience. So the first thing I do is actually even before getting out of bed, and that's gratitude meditation. And then I follow it with a few minutes of breathing correctly, which helps activating my parasympathetic nervous system and keeps me calm and collected. So before I check in to my phone, I actually check in on my breath. And this helps lowering my cortisol level, helps slowing down my heart rate, and even hopefully reducing my inflammatory markers. Why is this important? Because the moment you actually open your phone, your sympathetic nervous drive kicks in, especially when you're looking at emails and messages and alerts and everything that's happening in the world right now. By doing just a few minutes of correct breathing, either box breathing, alternate nostril breathing, vagal breathing, I buffer my brain from sensory overload and stay alert and completely in physiological control, which is much needed for me as a doctor. This Swasth ritual may actually be invisible, but its impact on mental clarity and on hormonal balance is backed by science.